Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Friday, the 3rd of November 2023. We'll be breaking down chart on the exact zones where price will close both potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Thursday, the daily has been bearish at one point, breaking below the Wednesday daily low. As we can see now, price is retracing, failing to break above this daily resistance and just ranging within this level. Now we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. Just to break these candles here is we have a range forming on the 4-hour time frame. Now the big question is, it looks like price is still wanting to continue bullish because we have this strong daily candle closing bullish and then the following daily candle closed bearish, but the size of the candle looks really small. Now again, if price failed to continue bearish, the daily is retracing, trying to break above this level, but it's failing to break above it as well. Now the only maybe issue that we could see for price to continue bullish is when looking on a weekly is we have this 2 weekly rejection formed recently. So maybe price is struggling to break and close above this weekly rejection. Now, the big question is, are we going to see this weekly candle closing strong bullish above those weekly ranges? And then obviously the anticipation for the following weekly candle to continue bullish, knowing this weekly candle will be closing strong bullish, forming weekly support, breaking out of this range, or are we going to see another retracement for the weekly candle to form a rejection within this area? And now to break down the chart and looking at the daily more likely will be closing doji, I'd say weak bullish, forming weak daily support around 183.410. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, and now to break down the chart and looking at the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 183.160. The most recent 1-hour resistance, 4-hour resistance, is at 183.980. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, and this becomes really messy on the hourly. As we can see, prices ranging within these levels. So zooming in, and what we can see, we have this recent 1-hour support formed around 183.080. The most recent 1-hour resistance formed around 183.740. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, a same level of support more likely will be the same on the 50-minute time frame, but the only problem we can see within the 15, 30-minute and the hourly time frame is those ranges on the left. Now to identify the no trade zone, and I would say ideally, since the daily closing week bullish, let's have a look. So maybe what we need to do is wait for price to break and close above this hourly resistance, above 183.730 or 740 during high volume time. And what we mean by high volume time, we need to wait for price to range within this level, let's say during the Asian session, and then to anticipate for price to break and close out of this range during, let's say, pre-London, London session, or leading to pre-NY and New York Open. So potential buys could be above 183.740. Potential sells, what we could do is wait for price to break and close. So we have this 4-hour support. This is a small range. Looking at the hourly, this is a small range. Ideally is to wait for price to break and close below this 4-hour support because this is a messy range. So potential sells could be below 183, let's say 183 level. And this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys. I'm going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see is we have this daily resistance. But before we can see this daily resistance, price formed a high, the weekly high at 184.310. As we can see, this is the weekly high. Dropping down to the daily, this is a daily retracement. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour resistance at 184.230. Looking at the hourly time frame, we have an hourly resistance at this level. Again, a 30-minute resistance as well. And I would say the first target for buys could potentially be this hourly, which is also the 4-hour resistance formed around 184.230, to anticipate for price to break the weekly candle to break its own high to continue bullish. Now, I know we do have this 4-hour resistance around 183.970. So the anticipation is to see price, once price break above this level, the anticipation is to see the price to continue bullish and push through this 4-hour resistance. And I'd say the second target for buys now, this is where it gets really messy because we have this previous monthly high. Let's have a look on weekly. We have this weekly rejection zone. Looking at the daily we have a daily resistance around 185,370. This is a big range. Let's zoom in and let's see what we can see within this 4-hour time frame. Let's have a look on the 4-hour time frame. What we can see here is we have this 4-hour resistance formed around 184,730. Looking at the hourly time frame as well, this is an hourly resistance as well. So I'd say the second target for buys could potentially be 184,740, targeting the 4-hour resistance formed on the 6th of September 2023. And now to look for potential sells. Now again, going back to the daily, and the first thing we can see on the daily is we have this previous daily resistance formed around 182,480. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have the previous 4-hour resistance. Looking at the hourly, we have an hourly support formed recently. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, let's have a look on the left, and what do we see? Again, the same level really, but we do have clean traffic from this daily candle. So I would say here the first target for sells could potentially be 182,480, targeting this previous daily resistance, which that matches with the previous 4-hour resistance and the hourly support. The second target for sells, now let's have a look. Monthly, weekly, daily. We can see this daily high that was formed recently at 181,880. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this previous 4-hour resistance. Zooming in. Dropping down to the hourly. Within the hourly time frame, we have this hourly resistance that was formed previously. Looking at the 5-minute time frame as well. Now we have this week 30-minute weak resistance that was formed. That's like a doji candle on the 5-minute time frame, around 182,020. I would say the second target for sells could potentially be 182,020, targeting this weak hourly support formed around 182,020.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.